Hey everyone, my name is Matt and welcome back to Cobb Hill Farms. It's a sweltering 94 degrees. It's humid today, so you know what that means. It's perfect haymaking weather. Well, except the humidity part a little bit. A couple days ago we came out here, knocked 5 acres down with a hay bind, ran the tedder through it. I actually had to run the tedder through it twice because it's been really warm and humid, but not really sunny, so it hasn't really dried the best. So I had to run the tedder through it a second time just to get it up off the ground. But we came out this morning, raked it up in the windrows. So I'm gonna check the condition of it and see if it's ready to bale yet. Well, it's not too bad. Maybe slightly damp on the bottom yet. Let's go check another spot. Yeah, not quite. I think we're gonna give it a little while. Well, in the heavy part of the windrows is still a little bit damp on the bottom. It's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so we'll give it a little bit. We got our 3 hay wagons out here. Logan's out here ready to go. So we're gonna give it another hour or so and we'll come back on out here. Well, we made 1 lap around with the square baler and the hay is just still a little bit too damp. It's so humid that it's just not drying out. And if I'm gonna take the time to make square bales, I want to make good quality square bales to sell my customers. So I think we're gonna revert now to plan B. So as much as this is gonna shock everybody, plan B involves something that we normally don't see here much on the farm. Yes, it's exactly what you see. There is a green piece of equipment being used on the farm. So I don't own this tractor, nor do I own this round baler. How this all starts is this New Holland 644 round baler belongs to a very, very close friend of mine. And when I make round bales, this is the round baler I use. When I first started to use this round baler, I tried putting it on the 460 and thinking it would have enough horsepower to run this baler. We just make 4x4 bales. The problem that I ran into was the tractor didn't have enough hydraulics to run the baler. So I was in a place of being stuck. So I had to lower my standards just a little bit and use this thing. Now, one thing I have to say, this belongs to my neighbor. They've been my neighbors literally my whole life, and I greatly, greatly appreciate it. It's the one time a year you'll see me use something green on our farm, only to do round bales. Someday down the road I would love to buy my own round baler, and I guarantee you when I do, it will be of something that can be pulled with a red tractor, whether it be the 460 or we end up with something bigger on the farm. Those are down the road. Okay, so all joking aside, this is a John Deere 5425. My neighbor's had it quite a long time. It's been a good tractor for him. I've done a few things to it over the years that I've had to fix. But it's been a pretty good, reliable tractor for him, so I really can't knock it. I am a red guy, but you know what? When push comes to shove and you got to get a job done, it doesn't matter the color of the tractor. They all have their quirks. They're all either good or bad. I've worked on New Hollands. I've worked on some John Deeres. I've worked on Case IH. I know there's brand specific people out there, diehards. That's fine. I personally am all about what gets the job done and the serviceability of it. At the end of the day, whatever you have to use or do to make your farm successful or get the job done at the end of the day, I'm all for it. And if that requires me riding around on this green tractor, then by all means I'll do it. So this will be the horsepower we use today to get the job done. So on the back of this green horsepower is a New Holland 644 round baler. This is a string tie baler. It makes a 4x5 bale. We have it set to make 4x4 bales. It's been a really good baler. It belongs to a good friend of mine. He's been a friend for over 20 years. We've worked together for a long time, both at jobs, and I've worked at his shop for years. It's been a good baler. What we do is we coordinate with each other when we're doing hay, and if he's not using it, then I have right to use it, whatever. So when I ran into the predicament that I ran into this afternoon with the square bales, I called him up, said, hey, I was pretty sure he wasn't using it because he did most of his hay earlier in the week. So I was shot over there, hooked on it with the truck, brought it back, and got the John Deere, and we are ready to go bale some round bales. We got roughly 25 small squares here on the trailer. I wanted to get it inside for a couple of reasons. I'm going to monitor them the next few days to see if they show any signs of mold, or more importantly, if they heat up. There was no sense in letting them sit outside when they've gone this far being dry, and they may be all right, they may not be. But I'm going to keep an eye on them, make sure they don't heat up. For those that aren't familiar with hay in a confined space, whether it be on a trailer or mostly in a hay mow in a barn, hay tends to heat up after it's been cut. It needs the off gas, and it will heat up before it starts to cool back down. And if the temperature gets hot enough, then it can obviously self-combust, and hence barn fires. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen before we end up putting it in the hay mow. So it's going to sit here in the barn for a few days, and we'll keep an eye on it. Well, we got the whole field baled up. We got roughly 21 round bales, well 20 and a half. We ended up with a half a bale right there at the end. You know, I'm really glad we switched over to these round bales instead of trying to do the small squares. I want to provide good quality hay to my customers that buy hay from me. I mean, I try to get a premium price for it. So if I'm going to ask a premium price, I want to make sure I can guarantee a premium product. So when there was any doubt in my mind that this may not be perfectly dry, I'm glad we switched over to round bales. We'll get these down to the barn. We'll let them sit outside, make sure they don't heat up or anything like that, and then we'll probably end up feed these right up throughout the summer. I got good hay from last year that's still inside that's dry. I'll keep that for later on, but we'll feed these right up just in case there's any question. You know, when you wake up in the morning and you have a game plan in your mind of how things are going to go, sometimes that game plan doesn't work out that way, and you have to just kind of fly by the seat of your pants. That's exactly what we did today. In the end, we ended up making the hay that we needed for our cattle instead of making hay that we were going to sell to customers. In the end, the product is going to get used, and it doesn't matter what equipment you use, what color the equipment is that you use, as long as the job gets done and done to a quality that is a good standard, then that's something you can be proud of. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you like our channel, we ask you to subscribe. We've had an overwhelming response to our channel in the last 3 or 4 videos, so we hope we can just keep putting out quality content that people want to watch. So with that, we hope you have a great day. We'll see you next time.